James, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and take part in this for us. I always start by asking everybody just to tell us a little bit about themselves and what they do.
Sure. So I'm James Buchan, Managing Director of Zudu. Also, I've got a few other kind of business engagements on the go as well. Also President of the Dundee and Angus Chamber of Commerce.
All right. Thank you for, as I said, for joining us. I've got my usual kind of suite of questions, and the first one is really just, I'm always really interested in what people like best about what they do, and whether there's a story to that. So, what's your story to that?
Sure. So I always wanted to be an entrepreneur from when I was young. I was always quite motivated towards kind of doing entrepreneurial things. Ever since I was young, I had a paper job. I was washing cars. I was doing all sorts to try and make money, walking dogs. So yeah, that's sort of where it came from as a young spirit. From there, I've always had a passion to grow a business, grow a community, and do some social good stuff for the world. Also help people along the way. So that's really where the passion came from originally. In my previous role, I was traveling the world, and I was out in America, implementing these big data systems with the likes of Walmart and it took me across to Japan, and I had a kind of forum that I was building with my friends to come up with business ideas, and from that point, I kind of quit my job, decided to come to Dundee, and that was where it all started, really.
Brilliant. Well, so, and of course that nicely takes me on to my next question. So I'm asking everybody, do you have a favourite thing about Dundee and Angus?
Yeah. I think certainly for me coming into Dundee to start my business, I thought the business community was one of the best things about it. It was a really inviting place for me to come in. I got welcomed in, even competitor companies. We were engaging with each other and working together. I think Dundee has a real good spirit about it. There's a lot changing in Dundee, and a lot of people have the passion there to move Dundee forwards, and the community really works together.
Fab. What about your favourite time of year? Do you have a favourite time of year, and why?
Not particularly. I would say if there's any time of year, probably autumn. I really like when the trees start to change. I'm quite passionate about Scotland, so I go up to the Highlands when up in the Cairngorms when all the trees are changing. It's just a magical time for me. So and also not too hot. I don't like the heat. So.
It's absolutely stunning up there, isn't it? Places like Rothiemurchus, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It's really interesting. I mean, we're obviously doing this interview, and it's kind of coming up for Halloween. We had a chat with our team today, and we always theme our team calls every day. And today was to talk about your scary movie. It was interesting. It was really interesting how many people really don't like scary movies. but we've also talked about autumn and how much we all love autumn. And although it's kind of getting to the darker nights and whatnot, I think it's just, as you say, it's just offset by how pretty that the places around and about are. Yeah, it's fab. Yeah. What about? I mean, we're in restrictions at the moment. We're not in full lockdown. Who knows what's going to happen over the next few weeks? But is there a thing that you're missing most? What's causing the issues?
Probably for me the physical connections with friends and family. I've probably communicated even more than usually through kind of virtual connections. We do family quizzes and even with my friends. But after a period of time, I think that begins to diminish in value. It was a bit of excitement at the start, but I certainly would say that that physical interaction, even with clients and business, going out, meeting people, going to events, I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely replicate a lot of things online, can't we? And, I mean, even the fact that, we are doing this and, recording videos and doing webinars in ways that none of us have kind of ever done before, it definitely doesn't make up for kind of the relationships that you develop, even if just going out and having that coffee or kind of, getting the good experience of listening to a speaker in person and being
Absolutely.
able to kind of ask questions. Yeah, it's such a challenge, isn't it? It's really difficult at the moment. I'm also talking to people about how their work is changing or changed during the crisis. So I wonder if you could just tell us a bit more about how things at your end have changed and what the future looks like.
Sure. Yeah. So we've, as a business, we evolved quite quickly. We tried to adapt as quickly as possible to what was going on. There was some markets that we were quite heavily focused in, such as tourism, that took a real hit. So we had to refocus our strategy. Working remotely is probably one of the biggest changes. Personally, I'm a bit of an office guy, so I sit on that camp, and I love bouncing off the team, being in that team culture, and also growing a community in the office. So that's been the biggest change. I guess we're doing okay remotely. Doesn't affect us as a business. So that's fine. I think a lot of people want to be in the office, but it's fine doing it remote. And I think just the difference between that and working in the office is really getting that variation in your day. So it's it's been okay for us, and I think we've been quite lucky to be in an industry that is, if anything, is benefiting from what's going on. Everyone needs to go digital.
Well, that's just what I was going to say, because that's certainly when we've been talking to businesses, we're constantly encouraging them to think about adapting their strategies, thinking about how to kind of reach different customers in different ways. So you must have seen a real kind of spike in interest and people looking to do different things.
Yeah. We it was funny how we noticed as a development company, we noticed trends in certain areas opening up. We got a lot of interest for recruitment platforms as people were starting to be made redundant and continuing to be. And that was one interesting trend that we saw. From all over the country, we had inquiries for recruitment type platforms. But we always see trends like that as the society changes. We see a trend in demand on our side. But certainly some companies who were never even thinking about their digital side of their business previously, they've had to adapt really quickly, and they've probably been at the worst hit initially. But as businesses evolve, I think it's going to land them in a better position going forward, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely that kind of crisis behaviour, isn't it? Where if you're in difficulties, then you've got to do something, and you've got to do something quickly, probably. So it's that resilient behaviour, isn't it? That those are the businesses that we are seeing that are really kind of, I guess it feels positive to then do something. So you channel all your energies into that and then you come up with some really interesting strategies, don't you? Have you seen a lot of, because now we can employ people from anywhere because everybody's working remotely, we can have customers anywhere. Have you seen a change in your kind of business from local customers to non-local then?
We always had quite an sort of even national or international element to our customer base. I probably haven't seen too much of a difference in. We've always had mostly UK wide leads, and what I would say is there's probably less reluctance to work with a company like us, who are based up in Dundee, working with London-based companies. There's now no hesitation whatsoever if we're not just down the road from them, for example. So yeah, no, it's if anything, that's benefited us as a business, and it's really broken down the barriers to some of the barriers there to us winning business in the past.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Another thing that I'm asking people about is when we are much more freely able to get out and about, what would be at the top of your lockdown escape bucket list?
I think for me it was really probably going to visit family and friends. As I said, that's something that I've missed quite a lot. I do really like events. Being in a stadium with thousands of people. That's just an amazing feeling. Just getting out there, being social. I think that's the thing that I'm looking forward to most. I've also got a wedding coming up next year, so fingers crossed that goes ahead as planned.
Absolutely, yeah. If you had a message out there for kind of people about the things that you've learned about the world of work and business, and what would it be?
Sure, yeah. So I'd probably say don't give up if it's something that you believe in. I would say, and it's something that benefits other people as well. I've had plenty of opportunities in my career or my business lifeline to give up, and I could have given up at many points. I think because I love what I do, I have a real passion for what I do. It's kept me in the game, and as I said, it's something that I really enjoy. So I'm not doing it out of anything else apart from the fact that it's something that I would want to do. That's my advice to other people is stick at it. Success might not be tomorrow, but a few years from now, stick at it, and the fruition will come.
Yeah, I mean, people don't say go and start a business for an easy life, that's for sure. But the kind of the buzz that you can get when things go really well, and you kind of do find those customers that are just right. It's a pretty fab experience, isn't it? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and customers are everything, and just having happy customers means your staff are happy. Makes us happy to deliver good work. And I think that's it's a big buzz for us to as a company to deliver solid work. Yeah, I mean, that's really in the philosophy of what we do, and it's something we really enjoy doing.
brilliant. Okay, so last but not least, how do people get in touch with you if they fancy a chat?
Sure. Yeah, you can check out our website. We're on zudu.co.uk. So check out what we do as a company. I'm also on LinkedIn every day. So feel free to connect with me directly, send me a message, and we can get some time booked in. Always happy to have a chat and try and learn off other people as well. So yeah, encourage anyone to get in chat, in touch and connect.
Thank you so much. So for those of you that have been watching this video, you've probably been watching it from our YouTube channel, but thank you so much for taking the time to kind of come and listen to what James had to talk about. If you're interested in taking part in it yourself, then you know where to find us. But yeah, it's been brilliant to kind of just hear a wee bit more about you and kind of what makes you tick. So thank you, James. I really, really do appreciate it, and look forward to the next in the series of Take a Seat interviews. So thanks for your time, James. Thanks
you.
you.
Alison. Take care. Thank you.